Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. My weed smelling like a Ninja Turtle sewer. Shorty shag my balls like Milwaukee Brewers. I'm so rich, man, I got like 50 credit cards. I keep a Grinch in a cage made with gold bars. The Grinch! I was born to be a legend. Be a legend. In the 60s, would've jerked it with John Lennon. I told Theranos to make me an Eris clone. Now the Eris clone blowing up my flip phone. The song of the summer is too hot. So I dropped it in the fall to cool it off. I sold my third rock, then I bought a chain. Call up French Stewart just to ask about his day. When I'm in the club, I hit the squall pose. Kingdom Hearts theme is my ringtone. No, I'm never going home alone. Cause I keep a paramedic in my limo. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Buying mammoth tusks out in Shanghai. Illegal hunting trips in Zimbabwe. Illegal. Lions, tigers, bears, me, oh my. Cook them up with the homie guy, Wererat. Turning lions into Salisbury steak. Bear pate with the capers on the plate. Expensive sweater, man, it's made out of sheep. If I don't smoke K2 at night, I can't sleep. Gucci gym shorts, Gucci mustard stain. Sent a Gucci casket after John McCain. Rest in peace. Gucci hot dog, Gucci whole grains. Even when I struggled, I had Gucci hunger pangs. Gucci Nike, Gucci Adidas. I put the fucking Gucci pattern on a cheetah. Gucci HPV, Gucci diabetes. Gucci TED Talk with Gilbert Arenas. NBA. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. Smoking Ninja Turtle fresh out the sewer. Kush got me looking like French Stewart. Shorty real bad like a brain tumor. I never OD, man, it's just a rumor. My weed smelling like a Ninja Turtle sewer. Shorty shag my balls like Milwaukee Brewers. I'm so rich, man, I got like 50 credit cards. I keep a Grinch in a cage made with gold bars. The Grinch! I was born to be a legend. In the 60s, would've jerked it with John Lennon. I told Theranos to make me an Eris clone. Now the Eris clone blowing up my flip phone. The song of the summer is too hot. So I dropped it in the fall to cool it off. I sold my third rock, then I bought a chain. Call up French Stewart just to ask about his day. When I'm in the club,
What up? I'm doing a cool, you guys can't see me, but right now I'm doing a cool, like, raise the roof style hand raise to announce that I'm here. What up, everybody? Welcome to Lore Club. I'm Branson. I got Elliott and I got TJ here, two of my close personal friends. None of this podcast shit, none of this new media shit. I knew these guys from the days of flesh and blood. These two crazy guys here. Elliott, TJ, how you guys doing?
We're doing well.
Yeah,
I knew Branson before he was a somebody.
Yeah, I'm a real somebody now.
I knew Branson in undergrad. Mm-hmm. When we used to do crazy wild stuff at our weird house.
Me and Elliott were roommates at the University of Missouri. Go Tigers! Elliott's still crazy about those Mizzou Tigers.
I love the Mizzou Tigers. You know, like it's not like I did acid and got freaked out one time at a football game.
Elliott's always, Elliott's always texted me. These Mizzou Tigers look good. I think it's their year. He's always getting into that sports with me. Yeah, what up, Lizzie? How you doing?
Hey, Lizzie. Thanks for the art.
All right, so we can do a quick recap here. Also, I want to just compliment TJ on the beautiful ambiance he has up there.
I had to set the tone for getting some good, deep style lore going on.
And these are these candles, or are these electronic candles?
These 4 are electric. These are real ones. On my table, so it's nice.
Just straight on the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're drip candles. So.
And Elliott, I also want to point out, is drinking a Baja Blast, which delighted me immensely because it's the only it's a rare soda, right? That's not a soda you can find everywhere.
You can get it more often now.
That's the only fucking soda I ever see Elliott drink. Sometimes a Mexican Coke.
I buy him Mountain Dew from the grocery store, and it sits in my fridge for every Monday.
Oh, really?
It's fucking dope. I love coming over, setting up audio equipment, and playing fucking.
Oh shit!
Mountain Dew.
I did one thing. I forgot to do the main thing. I forgot to tweet that I'm live. I forgot to do that. So I've been trying to be a better streamer now, but it's catching up to me.
Yeah.
All right.
You're new to the game.
No, but look at this setup, though. Look at this setup I got here. I don't know if you guys are watching the actual stream itself. I got all this information. At right here above me, I got all the previous 6 gods, right? And then above that, I got like the connections so far that have been done. Because I tried doing a separate document where I explained how everybody was related, and it was too hard, so I stopped doing it. Also, I started, I was labeling what all the connections are, but I'm just going to remember those, so I'm not doing this too tight right now. But yeah, let's recap some of the gods that we have gone through personally. Let me switch this over. So first one we did, I'm just going to go from top of the order. Joel made Mertu, who is the god of death, peace, and dreams. Now
Of course.
He came to this world from a different pantheon. Joel has alluded that Mertu killed every other god in the previous pantheon and fled here to start fresh, right? He came upon a world that already had mortals in it, and as the god of death, he went into their dreams and told them, you need to start burying your dead. And then from that, a natural sort of afterlife emerged. Then we have Zoth, who's the god of water, beasts, and life. That was Oki. That is a bodiless god who is an ocean, a wine-colored ocean, and all he cares about is just rampant proliferation of life. That's all he's concerned about, is just more life.
Like cancer.
To him, death isn't even a thing you have to worry about. You're either alive or it's nothing, Then we have Coldwell, which was Andrew. That's the god of darkness, revenge, and revelry. So that's a soul god. And what we have here is a soul god means that he used to be human, and he got worshipped so much that he got brought into reality as a god. So he was a member of an oppressed people, called the Brine, which has been historically repressed. He is the god that emerged from that. Then we got Zeke, made Ein Sof. Ein Sof is the god of air, madness, and time. He is a wild god, meaning he existed because he had to exist from the primal natural world. So a few things about Ein Sof that are important is he's an orb that's filled with a bunch of different types of weather. He manifests as different types of weather. Doesn't have a face, any kind of humanoid expression. But madness and time work into it because this world, because of Ein Sof, is contained. It basically has a firmament, sort of like how they said the world was in the Bible. If you fly directly higher and higher and higher into the air, it sort of becomes like sacred geometry. The world below you can't really recognize, but there's a cap. You can't just go into space. So the further up you go, like the world almost seems to fold in on itself and you don't get any higher. With the madness and time stuff, doesn't really play into much other than that some of where the dark ages are going to be. Then last week, we're recapping last week, we had Chimera, the goddess of magic, tricksters, and nobility, soul god. That was made by Lizzie. So she's more of a god that had to exist. She never was mortal, but with the proliferation of magic, she views magic as sort of this human collective unconscious. So when you cast spells, you're not really drawing upon like sacred math or order or anything like that. The result of magic is the collective kind of unconscious of people. Her tricksters and nobility domains play into it, where that she's always doing court intrigue. She fucking loves court intrigue. She likes interesting people. She wants like almost like gossip style. And she was the mentor of a god named Wad. Wad is we did roles for who that was Patches made Wad. I love Wad. Wad's great. Wad is the god of the earth, agriculture, and suffering. So I wanted to recap just one specific thing that Patches made. So as the god of the earth, he decides what the Underdark is. And instead of being like, the kind of mushroom fields, rock, it is like Elysium. It is pastoral beauty underground. So the underground is basically tended to by these species called the Mandragora. However, the slur for them is guppies. Everyone just calls them the guppies. Guppies are 10 feet tall. Their personality is awful. The god who created them thinks they're awesome. They're rude by default. They are grown like plants. You pull them out of the ground by their heads. He described the guppies as like, the guppies come up from the underground once a year to try to mingle with people. It really is interested in people, but guppies are socially cursed. They'll go up to you and try to like shake your hand, and then they'll switch it into a dap. And then they'll fuck up that too, and then they'll stand too close to you. And then they'll like, it's impossible to be nice to these creatures. These creatures just seem to evoke disgust in all living things other than themselves. But Wad created that. Wad's appearance is, Wad used to look like a beautiful guy. Now he is a hunchback with the texture of molten rock. He's covered in tumors, but he doesn't suffer. He's a god of suffering, but he doesn't suffer. Plants are a bunch of meteor holes are in his humpback, and plants grow out of them. But his face is still sort of handsome. All right, he created a crop that feeds the majority of the world called the dark potato. It tastes like coffee grounds, but it feeds you and gives you all the nutrients you need. But that's what we have here.
Does he have a chiseled chin, perhaps?
I would say he's classically handsome. His face would be the easiest way to show somebody being classically handsome is showing like a square chin, I think. So I think he would have a square chin still, and everything else would kind of still be messed up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
What about this god Yo-Yo? Do you have, who's that in the...
No, there's no god named Yo-Yo. Where'd you get Yo-Yo? Did Elliott just write that in real quick or something?
I did not write anything.
There's no god named Yo-Yo. All right. So that's kind of the recap we have here. If you guys are looking at the other gods, like, Murtu... Well, let me get back. Pull it back there. All right. So looking at the gods we have so far, Murtu is kind of humanoid in appearance. Zoth is not humanoid in appearance. Coldwell is humanoid in appearance. Einsoft is not humanoid in appearance. And Chimera and Wad are kind of classically humanoid in appearance. So if we're looking at like the theme of the pantheon we have so far is, we kind of have a mixture of like more resembling humans and completely unresembling humans. So feel free with any appearance that you guys have. Feel free saying whatever. The one thing I say is that everything is canon. So if you're worried about saying, oh, I want to say this god does this, but I don't think it works with that, I think some of the coolest shit in lore is like when shit contradicts itself and you have to figure out an excuse how to make it work anyway. So everything is canon. Don't worry about if it works or not. Don't worry about if it fits. Just say it. Everything is canon. We stick with it. I'm not going to make anybody back off. No wimp shit. If you say it, we make it work. All right. You guys got any questions, anything, or you guys want to jump into it?
I say we just go for it. I don't even know what to expect. So.
All right. Well, we're gonna do Elliott first. So by the time it's your turn, you're gonna know what's going on. All right. So now, So now we're gonna do. This is the 7th god in the pantheon. When we were doing Patch's last roll, Patches rolled that the next god would be their sibling. So before we design anything, Elliott, you are going to be related, the brother, sister, whatever, of Wad. All right? So typically what I say is we do all of the rolls first because I don't want to design any lore. If you're going to be the god of fire and you start doing a bunch of fire stuff and then you get a domain for something else and it contradicts it. So we'll do all the rolls, then we'll get going. All right? You ready?
Yeah.
So I want to say that I did 8 domains for elementals, right? You guys are going to do 8 gods. So TJ, whatever Elliott doesn't get, you're automatically going to get. So let me show those two real quick if we want to go down here. All right, so the 2 domains that we have left are fire. If you get fire, then I'm going to need you to tell me what's in the center of the earth, and you're going to have to tell me what the structure of the world is. All right? So right now we have the top of the world is defined. There's no space. You can see stars, but stars and stuff will be decided by the god of light, right? So with fire, we're going underground. Is it like a spherical world? Is it, almost like a cross section like the Bible showed it where it's just hell below? That's going to be completely up to you. All right? And then the other domain is going to be light. All right, so this is going to be the domain of all things visible, the sun, and all stars. So if you get the domain of light, you're going to have to tell me what the main source of light in the world is. Is the sun going to have a weird color? Is there more than one suns? How long is a day? Stuff like that we are going to figure out with light that's going to affect out the world. And then I'm also going to have the whoever gets light is going to have to design a magical artifact that will sort of represent the light. All right. After that, we have 2 more domains. I'll get those when we kind of get to those. But the first thing I'm going to have you roll, this is going to be the origin. So part of the fact that we've done so many gods already, all of the origins have kind of been decided. So if you get an origin that another god has gone, there's a chance, depending on how the lore works, we're going to talk about it, we may have you be related to that person. Because I kind of envisioned this as like a Greek-style pantheon originally, where you have a lot of people that are related to each other. But when I've done the rolls, I've gotten only... This is the first fucking sibling we've got.
All the Greek gods are basically fucking each other.
Exactly. So we have... Chimera is married to Einsoft, because I forgot to mention that last time. But that's like a political marriage. We're going to do that because he doesn't have genitalia.
And is that supposed to sound like... He's soft all the time.
I'm soft.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's German, so it probably it's more of a ein, an angry,
Gotcha.
I'm soft.
I'm soft.
All right. So we're gonna do your divine origin first. Elliott, go ahead and roll me a D4.
3.
3. Elliott, you are a soul god, just like Chimera is. So you are going to be a soul god. Let me start.
Soul god.
Let me get this stuff in here.
Because you're a soul god.
All right. This stuff. I should have done my prep. All right, now we do God, 7, Elliott, Soul God.
Yeah, you got to get a quieter keyboard.
No, it's a mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, get this blacks out.
You gotta be.
Is
You
it
ain't.
an Apple II
That's
keyboard?
real. Not. That's a non-gamer statement. You just revealed yourself as a non-gamer.
Oh shit! Oh
Just
shit!
expose yourself. All right, Elliott, you are a soul god, meaning that you came to existence in the same way that Chimera did. Let me read the description real quick. You are a god born out of worship, whether you started as a mortal and ascended into godhood, or you started as an idea and were born through the beliefs of your followers. You are nourished by the faith of your followers. You have more intimate relationships with your followers because of this. All right, so you are a soul god. Let's move on to the domain here. I'm going to say since we only have 2, you can flip a coin for this one and call it, or you can call evens and odds and roll it.
Yeah, which is going to be heads and which is tails?
Let's do fire for heads, lights for tails. And keep in mind, Elliott, you have an override. You can, whatever you roll at one point, you can just say, screw it, I'm going to do, you can do that once.
I got light.
You got light? All right. You want to stick with it or you want to override it?
I want to stick with it.
All right. We have the soul god of light. All right. And let's go see these domains. All right. So let me go to the list 1 domains here. There's still some good ones. The god of war has not been taken. God damn it. All right. Is this the first one? All right. We still got some good ones. No god of nature yet. No god of war. This one we already did. But a lot of them up there. So go ahead and roll me a D20, Elliott.
D20. Oh, that's on the side. 8.
8.
That one taken already?
Order. You rule over the divine domain of order, stability, and civilization. Do you want to stick with that, or do you want to look at the list and do an override to get something else?
I'll stick with it.
All right, we're going with the god of light and order. You're going. It's pretty. Kind of spoon feeding you in the paladin direction here, but
we'll see about that.
All right, so what you're going to have to decide as the god of order is that you are going to decide you're going to design a holy order. So whenever we get down to that part, you are going to design a holy order for your god that reflects your god however you want to do it. And we're going to have you roll 1d4. I'm not going to have you do this yet. And then whatever you roll, that will be the peak of the greatest empire in the history of this lore.
Perfect.
All right. So let's go down to list 2 then. Your last domain. There's still a lot of stuff here as well. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
20 other dice. 9.
9.
Right. Wait, yeah, it's a 9.
Revelry. You got to re-roll. Somebody already got that one.
All right. 5.
Suffering. Somebody already got that one. You got to re-roll.
4. Give me 1.
Healing. You rule over the divine domain of healing, restoration, and solace. You created a location on the mortal realm to heal all living things. So you're going to design a place of healing and a blessing of healing that your god gives to people. All right. So
Dim, dark bar filled with all of the booze of the gods.
So pretty, not a lot of contradicting stuff here. You want to stick with healing or you want to override?
Stick with it.
All right.
It's not up my alley, so I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, it's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
All right.
I like nasty stuff.
All right. So domains of order and healing. That's about as straight. Everything we've gotten has been this is the most straight down the middle one we've gotten by far so far. All right, let me pull up the questions for that. Okay. So the first thing we're going to figure out is the sun. What is the source of light on this planet? everything is canon. You can tell me there's 100 suns. I have to make it work out. So feel free to be as creative as you want.
What is my? So I'm related to Wad, right?
Okay, so all of the stuff that we have so far, that the framework of it is that you're a soul god. You were created out of worship, right? You are the brother of Wad. So it could be that maybe he helped create you, or you guys were created at the same time. His origin story really hasn't been explained much. Again, if something's not explained, we're kind of doing Elden Ring rules where, it's better to have less than more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you would be related, but you can say at any point you would treat each other as siblings. Basically is the main. It doesn't really matter how you got there. We haven't said who Wad's parents are or anything like that yet either. So if you want to come up with that, they won't be gods, but that you could have parents if you want.
Okay. Well, right now we're doing the sun.
Right. So right now, we can start thinking about, okay, the source of light. I mean, it's really up to you the order that you want to do it here. We can answer all the stuff, or you can start by describing your appearance and your name. Or if you want to figure out more lore first, we can kind of go through the lore and then it'll take form.
Yeah, let's do the sun.
Okay. So let's talk about the sun. So in other games, right? In other lore, right? What are they always have Dark Souls will always do a ton of shit on the sun. If we look at any of the ancient Bronze Age shit, they were obsessed with the sun. What are your thoughts in far of what would be a cool atmospheric thing for the world?
I mean, I like an oversized sun, but
I like that as well.
But it's a little bit orange, but it's not actually a sun. It's an artifice.
It's not actually a sun.
It's not a burning ball of fire. You could actually go and land on it. It's just a glowing giant.
Is it hot?
No.
It's not. It's not actually sun, and it's not that hot. No. But it heats up the world. The light heats up the world.
The light heats up the world, but you could go just stand on it. If you could make it outside of the firmament, you could stand on it, but you can't get outside the firmament.
Yeah. Okay. So really, the only people that could get out, the only people that could walk around on the sun, then are gods. Really.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So is it hot to everybody but a god?
I think so.
It's it's a heat lamp.
Yeah. It's just a giant white heat lamp, except it glows orange.
That's cool. All right, I do like just the entire world being just vaguely orange, like it's the movie Crank.
Yeah.
All right, so we have light. Does it set, or does it just turn off at a certain time?
Hey.
Does it rotate with the? Does it?
I wanna leave that up to TJ determining how the world is shaped, because if it's flat, then it's gonna turn off. But if it's not, then it's gonna rotate.
All right, so we'll leave that then, and maybe once we get to TJ's part, you can even talk about it a little bit, and I can write that up. But I like that so far. It's an artifice. Is it a magical? Is it technical? What is your guy like? Is it divine magic?
I think it's arcane magic. I think it's a technical thing that somebody just popped up there one day, and they're just oh yeah, we need this. These motherfuckers can't see shit.
Did you make it?
Or
did you get help?
No, I want it to be. It's a mystery. It was there from before time. I think my god knows how to control it. Has figured it out. That's part of the reason why I'm the light god. But there's no other rhyme or reason to it.
Gotcha. All right, you have a magical artifact that will show up in the game at one point. That is a manifestation of either light or your light, or however you want to do it. Think about a nuclear bomb level, power level magical artifact of light. You got any ideas of what that would be?
Oh fuck. No. something as powerful as a nuclear bomb.
Are you thinking? Or is this god gonna be like sword in hand, shield in? Is it gonna be weapons? Is it gonna be like? What's your thoughts?
I think I want it to be like a she or they, to contrast Wad's disgustingness.
Yeah.
I want him to be like fairly attractive, like light god, like the opposite of a Wad.
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna, out of all if you're ranking the beauty levels of a lot of drawings of gods, they usually make light gods, look like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
I like to, as I'm imagining this, the god wears like goggles that they have to take off because it's so bright.
that's cool. I like that. Yeah, she wears goggles. She takes them off. What? Like I'm gonna play against the type of like
You could make the goggles a magical artifact.
Yeah, the goggles are a magical artifact. They see everything. They protect from everything. I want because I have like healing, light, and order, and that's very on the nose. I think I want her to be like almost like a arcane like artificer type god rather than purely divine. Like everything she does is like her holy weapon is like a fucking like laser rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like almost the idea of like civilization and advancement rather than Okay, so the magical artifact. I'm sorry. What? How would do you have a name for it?
Fuck is that? Hold on 1 second.
Oh, no problem. I'm too close. I'm too loud. All right, I'll stay back. I keep getting closer and closer in because I get excited.
I wish I could see you. All I see is a green toad with its eyes closed.
I can't put the camera on the stream and on Discord at the same time. Or at least I don't know how to.
I have the stream up on the other monitor. I just call it the proton cannon after the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Iron Man Super.
The proton cannon?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a giant fucking laser rifle that shoots white light. Hot white ropers.
Hot white light. All right. I like that a lot. Okay. So let's go to order. Let me pull those. I messed up. All right. Let's try if I did the word civil. You know what? This what happens when I try to go through it rather than... Where's the order? There we go. Okay. So, Elliott, now, do you have any ideas for what this goddess's holy order would be?
That's tough.
Like, even just kind of starting it from the position of like, would it be like a church? Would it be militaristic? Would it be, what would their aim be?
I think like she probably started the order as like a guild of like tinkerers or artificers.
Oh yeah?
That has slowly become like a weird like church of like gears over time or something like that.
Yeah, okay. So originally started out as an order of engineers, architects, etc.
Yeah. But now it's like it's kind of devolved out of her hands into like this just like weird church that worships like mechanics, like the actual mechanisms like clockwork and shit like that.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So we can kind of do that, and basically I'll probably have it start out in like, because my idea for this is to have 5 campaigns, and each one takes place at a different point in history, and then it'll progress like 500 years, and then we do another one. So I'll probably have like this holy order start out as fairly normal, and then throughout will become more and more cultish.
Yeah, I think they get more cultish and more zealot-like over time.
Okay. Now I want you to go ahead and roll me a 1d4.
1d4.
So, not counting the first campaign, but for the next 4 campaigns, it'll determine when the greatest peak of the empire will be. So this is basically deciding Rome.
Number 4.
Number 4 means the final age will be the peak of civilization. So the very, very, very last campaign is going to be basically when the Rome-like equivalent of the world hits its ultimate peak. So if we're looking at like how it would in Earth chronology, like the first campaign would be like 1200 BC, second one would be like 0 AD, then like 600, then like 1000, then like 1300. So the peak of civilization is going to be like Dark Ages medieval kind of timeline.
Oh yeah.
All right. With this greatest empire. All right. What's up?
Turn yours down.
Oh, I gotta turn mine down? Okay. I gotta turn my mic down. All right. What was I saying? For the final kind of peak civilization, it's gonna be like so fucking far in the future that it's not really gonna resemble any of this stuff. Give me like a what kind of empire should it be, Elliot? Are we talking about like a large militaristic one, a large trade empire, diplomatic, oppressive? Give me whatever you think, like a general baseline of how it should be designed.
Oh, I don't know, like fucking baseline empire.
Baseline empire, like generic empire.
No, I'm just like trying to figure it. It's like, yeah, it's just a generic.
Normal empire.
This is a normal empirical.
Regular.
Just taking over stuff. Fuck it.
Assimilating.
Yeah, assimilating everyone.
Ooh, how about nice? Make them nice.
You can.
Yeah, they're nice.
They are nice. All right.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, it's fine because the god of suffering, I think, or no, the prophecy, the guy who got prophecy rolled that the biggest disaster is going to take place in the final age too.
I think they'd be a technocratic empire.
They are a technocratic empire. All right.
Like everything is controlled by very
They're big on gears. They love gears.
Well, it should be ruled by the people who like know best in their fields. But with the impending disaster, I assume that like hubris has led to like a downfall, like a fake meritocracy almost.
Yeah.
I mean, basically like almost like a late stage capitalism, but without the capitalism part.
I've never heard of late stage capitalism.
I don't know. Well, welcome to America.
Never heard of that. All right, we got the greatest empire there. Okay, and the healing. Wait, did I do the healing? Yeah. Okay, so now what we have to decide then will be your location on the material plane that provides healing. So think of like, the Fountain of Life? Like any kind of thing like that. The whole point of this location is that people who are very, very sick travel long distances to be there, and something there can cure them.
I'm gonna like lean on this old idea I've had, where it's the bar at the end of time or the end of the world. There's like a bar you can travel to that's in an indiscriminate location. You have to really want to get there and travel long ways to get there.
Like it's like in the middle of nowhere, you mean?
It's like in the middle of nowhere, but it's like it's not on a physical map. Like you have to put forth the effort or like have just the greatest need possible, and you'll get to this like bar outside of time and space. Maybe it's not even outside of time and space. Nobody really fucking knows where it's at, but you just get there and they give you the, as TJ said earlier, the like the ambrosia of the gods. You can drink as much as you want and you will be healed. And you'll wake up drunk in a gutter somewhere in the back wherever you belong.
You can drink as much as you want, you'll be healed.
Yeah.
And then you in order to be healed, you have to black out, and then you wake up in some random location.
Oh yeah.
All right, you have to black out to be healed, and you wake up in a random location. When you wake up, are you hungover or are you healed?
Oh, you're healed. You don't feel good though.
You're healed, but you don't feel. The bar at the end of the world I like a lot. Can you describe what the bartender's doing when you walk into this place, Elliot?
They're just polishing glassware.
Yeah, they're doing this.
They've got like a nice mustache. They're dressed up with like a red shiny vest. Just
Who
bow
staffs it?
tie. Like a nice like TJ's mustache right now.
Bartender is TJ. Okay.
Bartender, yeah, it's just TJ in nice bartendy clothes, classic bartender clothes.
All right.
Hey, friend.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see TJ hold a towel with his arm up and straight, just draped over it.
I mean, he used to be a bartender.
Good.
Well, that's more of a butler thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't look very.
Bartender is more of a butler thing.
You should show Branson what you want us to get him for your birthday.
Show Branson.
Yeah, you remember that crazy like monkey thing with the tray or whatever, or the frog? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. I can send
it's
that.
like $400 fucking.
Is it just like a bar cart where Toad's holding?
No, it's just
the
like
tray?
it's like a thing holding a tray. It's like 3 feet tall.
Oh my god, dude! My aunt had. I love her so much. She had some Blues Brothers statues that she fucking loved, and they were like 3 feet tall, like fucking heavy, like 90 pounds, like fucking
So
concrete Blues Brothers thing.
So stupid.
Oh, she cried over those things. It was like it was so funny, but they were so ugly, man. They were so fucking terrible.
Branson, I sent you a picture of what I was looking for. I'm just gonna say my targeted ads really get me these days.
Holy smokes, that's amazing. I love that. How's that come through? Oh my god. It's just the monkey, right? It doesn't come with a woman?
Yeah, doesn't come with the
It's
woman.
not a plaster
unfortunately.
woman standing next to a monkey. All right. So now the only thing we got to really settle is that you have a blessing. So I've been doing blessings kind of up to how the god wants to administer the blessings. Some people have done blessings where it's like a permanent thing that kind of changes somebody's body, gives them antlers or something like that. And sometimes it'll be like temporary, just stuff to help them. It's really up to you. Let's say you see somebody that your god really loves, that your god approves of everything they do, and you want to give them a blessing. What would that blessing be?
I think I'd give him like what would be cool? I'm trying to think of something cool.
Does it have to work like D&D mechanic wise?
No. Everything's canon. So you can say anything. You can say, they get their head removed, but they can still walk around. You can say they can temporarily phase in and out of existence. Everything's canon. Everything's canon. I would say the one thing I don't want when it comes to blessings would be like, oh, then everyone who gets blessing gets to use Misty Step once a day. That's not cool lore. That's mechanics. So just lore, really.
Okay.
That was it.
We can even go back and start doing the appearance and the name and stuff and then do the blessing at the end. Or I can start doing the questions about how you interact with mortals and we can come back to this one.
Let's come back to it. I'm trying to think of something cool.
All right. So these are all the questions about mortality. All right. So this is about how you interact with the people of the world. So, what is the correct way for mortals to worship you? A church, a cult, an order?
I think with the way that the Holy Order kind of went, I think originally the actual correct way is to just create like any kind of like to do any kind of trades work or to any artistry. She appreciates doing technical work and artistic work, and so originally it was like, oh, you do engineering, that's cool, like come to the guild and do your work, and that was like good enough. And I think over time that just eventually became people just making like useless fucking devices that she hates.
Just making contraptions and useless
Yeah,
devices.
just like the shittiest
She hates Rube Goldberg stuff.
Yeah,
it has to have a
it's like,
point.
yeah, there should be a point to your work, or it should be artistic, where it's like, oh, is this something we can all enjoy? But now it's just like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
Yeah, the work has to have a point, whether it's artistic and about human expression or it serves a practical purpose in the world. That the whole point of all this is it's supposed to make people's lives better.
yeah.
All right. Okay, how does your god or goddess interact with mortals? Does she like them? Does she hate them?
She genuinely enjoys them, enjoys the work that they do, tries to inspire them, and it really, in the last stage, it really sucks to her that like they've just gone off the fucking rails. At least that her worshippers have gone off the rails.
What is the name and profession of your favorite mortal? Give a brief description.
Oh fuck.
All of these guys. So I'm doing
Chad.
9. You're designing an NPC that's gonna show up at one point. That for some reason has favored God's favoring upon them. What, like, if she's like a god of order and she likes contraptions, would she like inventors or would she like artists? Like, I feel like you got to have a favorite if you're going down that road.
I think there's probably someone who's married the two. So there's
like
definitely
a Leonardo da Vinci type.
Yeah, they've married both artistry and kind of mechanics or engineering.
So is this society like the most technologically advanced society?
We could even put this guy in the peaceful civilization in the very last era as well.
Yeah, I think that sounds cool. Like, yeah, because everyone else has gone off the rail, but there's this one guy who's like a Da Vinci type. He's got it all going on. Fucking genius. What's a good? I want to name him Derek, but I want to think of a good last name because I just like I don't know. I like naming random NPCs.
Derek Genius.
Derek. Yeah, Derek the Genius.
Derek like DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Derek DeGeneres.
Let's go with it. We can rename him later.
Oh my god.
Derek DeGeneres.
No, that's so bad.
Everything's canon. It has to be canon. Oh shit, man. God damn it.
Derek Perkins might be good.
I don't know. I feel like we're locked in. It's on the dock already.
Oh shit.
I know you don't like it, but it's in there. When you are in the mortal realm, what kind of stuff are you usually doing?
Oof.
I always say this because I always think the first thing I thought of when I was writing this question was like Zeus. And, you know, he went down to bang women. He only went down to the earth to, like, bang women. Well, I guess he banged a cow, too. He was nuts.
He fucked a lot of
shit.
He
fucked a lot. There's, at one
Came
point...
down to fuck.
One woman tricked Zeus into fucking her by like, getting a big cow contraption and putting it in a field. And Zeus just fucked it.
Fucking awesome.
They're nasty fuckers, yeah. We haven't had a super crazy horny god yet.
Are gods good at sex? You think?
What the fuck do you think? Of course they are. Why?
I don't know. They could think they're like so good they're like bad at sex.
That would be really funny if like Zeus was just fucking bad at sex. That's just a really good bit. Ugh, it just comes super quick. Oh yeah, all right. Well, I better get out of here.
See you later, babe.
A god who gets no pussy.
Fucking Anthony Andrew.
Oh my god, that's pretty good. All right. Yeah, what are you doing when you're in the mortal realm?
I think Yeah, she's fucking and sucking. No. I think she's going around making sure like any kind of clocks that are like public facing clocks like are actually like on time. She just like goes and like fixes them to be at the correct time. She's got
Wow.
perfect time all the time. And then at night she like takes out what do you call it? This star
Your
measuring
pits.
instruments and just checks the position of like the moons and the sun and make sure everything is like in alignment.
She's a nerd.
Yeah, she's a nerd god.
All right, checks all the position. Kind of a nerd. If she gets interrupted or bothered by a mortal who doesn't know she's a god while she's doing this, how does she
Uh,
react?
she incinerates them
She
Oh my god.
with her holy light. Just boof.
Her holy
Is,
light.
is she always on time and cares about when people are really late? Like that's what peeves them the most.
No, because she knows when people are gonna be late. She's the god of order too. She already knows what's happening. Like
Yeah.
at least in
Okay.
a small way, like not a full omnipotence, but like in a precognizant way. She's unfazed by that. But if you go out of order and you fuck with her, she's gonna just kill you.
Yeah, she's like I'm like the sweetest bitch in the world, but if you fuck with me or my friends, I will like turn into a monster.
Yeah.
That thing that like every nurse loves to post on Facebook. Every girl I know that became a nurse posts shit like that all the time. All right, do you have fear or hope?
Um, I think that she hopes that the world continuously strives for things to be better or easier for everyone, and fears that things will go. I don't know, like fear, like
The world's hopeless or something?
yeah, fears that the world's hopeless, fears that things have progressed to a point where it's gone too far, that things get taken the wrong way.
I do like the god of civilization just looking at a civilization that keeps advancing and going, it's gone too far.
Yeah, this is too much for you
Fucked
guys.
it, yeah.
It's like you guys aren't smart enough to fucking deal with this shit yet.
All right, you got one roll left to do, but before you do that, appearance and name. Are we at? Was there one thing we skipped? Right, the blessing of healing.
Yeah, the blessing. Oh, is it a blessing of healing? Okay.
It's in the healing domain, so it would be related to healing. Either you're healing them or you're giving them the power to heal people. It would really be up to you.
I think
God of OSHA.
God of Osha, yeah.
The clipboard safety fest.
I think it would be like them. I don't want to heal people, so I think it would be giving them the power to heal. Or maybe, yeah, the blessing of my blessing of healing is they have like one time they can like just regenerate themselves.
Like if they get killed.
Yeah, or if they get severely maimed or like and fucking like third-degree burns all over
It's
their
almost like
body.
when you bless them, you don't see any immediate change.
Yeah, but it happens only once and it happens at midnight, so they might be dead for a while or in severe pain for a bit. Or whatever midnight equates to in this world's time. Or like at dawn or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's one
Yeah,
one specific
dawn's
point in time.
probably it's sunrise.
Yeah. Also, did we talk about the moons?
No. So I do have one. I do have one domain that determines the moon,
Okay, okay.
but there's also a good chance no one lands on it. So if no one lands on it, what do you think we should have the moons like? But this will be like conditional a little bit because I don't know if anybody's gonna get moon or not.
Okay. If no one lands on it, I would like there to be one like blue moon, but it's like, orange blue because of the orange sun. And then there's like one white moon, but that's the moon that my god made just like it's a fake moon that I just made out of fucking like stone and metal, and it's just like a giant clockwork moon that nobody knows what it is. Just
She's got a secret moon that no one knows why she. I guess she made another moon. I don't know. But we're talking
Yeah.
2 moons.
yeah,
Yeah, I could go for a blue moon.
not a great beer, but
Not a great beer. All right. Name and appearance.
she definitely wears like goggles. Has I would say general like kind of what's that fucking like steampunk style clothing.
Steampunk style clothing. Gears,
Yeah, gear
etc.
earrings.
Ah, it's so annoying.
Like leather vests, like her pants are like black and white striped, like vertically.
Beetlejuice pants. All right.
Got those leather gloves that come up to your fucking forearm.
Leather gloves. Elliott designed looking person.
Yeah.
Boots, gloves. How many straps? How many buckles are we talking? How many belts?
Like at least like around the waist, at least like 3 belts, if not more. It's probably a bunch of straps everywhere else. Like
straps everywhere. TJ, has Elliott ever made a character that didn't have cool looking armor?
No.
It's the one core thing of like when Elliott describes his characters, whenever we start a new character at a table, it'll be like, you know, she walks in, she's leaning against the wall, she's got her black leather armor, she's got like a scythe as a weapon or like a whip as a weapon, or
they're always leaning against a wall.
They're leaning against the wall. They got one pauldron, they got one kneecap, they got long gloves. Elliott knows.
Walk in as a volcano with smoke coming around them.
All right. Name. We got a name yet, Elliott?
That's my sibling. I think like
Joel is going to be upset.
Andrew. Andrew's 100% white, right? He's not gonna.
Elliott. Oh man, I also like Elliott got like the god of order, healing, and light, and it's like, well, if Elliott's going to beat anything that's like trope, so no chance of this ever being like a normal paladin god that I was worried about. Oh man, that's awesome. All right, name yet?
Blanket.
No. Fuck.
What kind of name are you looking for?
I was thinking about like Czar, like XAR or something like that.
Yeah, that's a god name. Czar.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one. But if Wad is my sibling and we're undefined siblings, yeah. And I'm definitely way hotter than Wad.
Oh yeah.
She's like fucking. If Wad is like a 3, she's like a fucking 13.
Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're ranking, let's rank some women. Let's rank some women here.
Done.
I'm also surprised I didn't make her a vampire, Andrew.
Yeah, I think the god of healing put the kibosh on that. Elliott, you're the only person who didn't do any overrides unless you want to do an override on your relationship.
No.
Okay.
I like being related to the shitty god of agriculture.
All right. But you are going to roll to decide what your relationship to TJ is going to be.
Okay.
All right.
Was that 1, 2, 3,
I didn't write down the name. Did I? What name did you say? Czar. Yes.
Czar.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we got Czar. Goddess of the light, order, and healing. Soul god. All right. Throw that on the list.
Do I need to roll for this?
Yes, you do. You're going to roll me a D8.
Alright, let's do that digitally. That's a 2.
That is a 2. All right. You are. I forgot. Okay. You rolled and you hit parent. But I don't know if that means if TJ's going to be your child or TJ's your father.
Wait, can I override this one?
Yes, you can.
Uh,
Except you can't do mentor, student, rival, or enemy because I've already gotten 2 of those.
I want him to be my best friend.
Okay.
Oh my.
All right.
All right.
So regardless of whatever you are, your best friend is going to be the goddess of light, healing, and order.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Best to TJ. All right. So recapping here, Zara is the goddess of light, order, and healing. She is a soul god. She wears goggles. She's beautiful. She wears steampunk shit, Beetlejuice pants. She's hotter than... She's hotter than... She's hotter. She's a super hot steampunk woman in Beetlejuice. Okay.
That's freaking hot. That's freaking
She's
hot.
so hot.
The fucking neckbeards are gonna love me.
All right. The sun is fake. It's a big orange light that you magically created. The moons are going to have 2 moons unless somebody, TJ or Hessa gets the moon domain. Your magical artifact is a holy laser rifle. You have created a holy order of engineers and architects that devolves into cultish and weirdish behavior over time. The greatest empire will peak because of your help, a technocratic empire that will be the last empire in the last campaign of the game. All right, you create a location, the bar at the end of the world, which is a bar that you have to black out on, and it heals you. And you create a blessing of healing that allows people to regenerate if you approve of them. All right. And your final connection will be you're the best friend to the next god here. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. You got anything to say before we move on to TJ?
No, I'm digging it.
All right. So
yeah, she does smoke. Renee's right. She smokes cigarettes too.
Oh yeah. Okay, I gotta write that in. She smokes. The
Renee is on this stream?
No, in chat.
Oh.
Different Renee.
Yeah, in case this wasn't an Elliott design character enough, she smokes cigarettes. So make sure to stuff that in at the end there.
I don't think I've ever smoked cigs. I don't think I've ever made a character that didn't smoke or do fake cocaine in D&D.
Yeah, what is the name? What was the fake cocaine we came up? Skeen. Yeah. Skeen. God.
That's from Mercer, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Matt Mercer thing.
Oh damn!
That guy loves his narcotics.
He also came up with Describe Your Kill, which, or at least as far as I know, he did Describe Your Kill, and every D&D table should do Describe Your Kill.
I mean, that's the best way to do it.
It's the best way to do it. So I'm not going to talk shit on the man. God bless him. God bless you. All right. Top of the order here. We are going to go ahead and start running through for your god, TJ. Now tell me, we don't have any domain stuff, any of this stuff like that. Like, you see all of the gods that came before. You know you're going to be the best friend to this god. Like, do you have any kind of ideas of where you want to start with before we start doing the rolling, or should we just get into rolling?
I see we just go. I was getting a lot of ideas there. I thought by process of elimination, I'm going to be the center of the earth god, though, right?
Oh, yeah. By that one, you're definitely fire. So before we do that one, we're going to figure out what your divine origin as a god was. So I want you to go ahead and roll me a D4. Now, if you get interloper, you're going to be related to Joel, by the way.
Oh, no. I got a 4.
4, you are an enigma god. Even amongst divine beings, you are viewed as particularly cryptic and mysterious. When it comes to your beginnings, you either do not remember, don't understand, or find it too boring to repeat. You may remember multiple contradicting stories. Either way, you represent Apocrypha, the doubtful, the ever-mysterious, the unknowable nature of the divine. So you don't really have to explain anything. You exist. You can talk about how you're created a little bit if you want, But because you are so enigmatic, no one really knows. Only you would know. All right.
Okay.
The main enigma god in this world is Zoth. And Zoth is not like represented in a physical form, but Wad is also an enigma god. So Wad hasn't really been explained. So those are the two other enigma gods, or those guys. But we're not going to roll for this because you are going to get the last remaining elemental domain, the domain of fire. So the fire domain is described as, this god is the source of all flame and its keeper. And the heart of all flame exists at the center of the earth. So what's at the center of the earth? What happens if you keep going down? What's the structure of the world will be the first question for you.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and do the other two domains first before we answer those, though.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, so next up, I'm going to have you roll your other two domains that your god will be in charge of. So go ahead and roll me a D20. Now remember, so we're going off the list one here. If you don't like it, you can change it once, and you can change it to whatever you want.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. That is the moon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You have the domain of the moon. Do you like that? You rule
love
over
the moon.
You rule over the divine domain of moon, eclipses, and comets. In the times before men, you created not only the moon but a demigod under your charge. All right, so you're going to create a god and a demigod.
I love that. God on the inside of the earth, God on the outside of this planet thing.
All right, so you got fire, moon, and honestly, we'll probably reflect fire in the moon domain too. We can talk about how the moon can be kind of related to fire. Okay, so we got fire and moon so far. Pretty cool stuff. You got one more domain. If you don't like it, you can go for a new one. So let's do the list 2 domain real quick.
Is that a D20 again?
That is a D20.
Ooh, one of my lucky numbers. 4.
That's healing. Already got your ass. Roll it again.
Nope.
No dice.
Crit 20.
Crit 20. You get the god of the Holy Land.
Oh.
Your divine domain has crept into the material world. You have unquestionable divine power in a small region completely under your control on the material plane, reflecting your will as a deity in the landscape. This holy land provided sanctuary to a sentient humanoid race on the verge of destruction who now serve you as caretakers. What is the name of this holy land? Who lives there? And please describe the sentient mortal race that you created. So if you stick with that one, you basically get to describe an area of like the world where you can exist on the material plane, an area that, the bridge between the divine and the real world is smaller, and you also get to create a playable race. So you can create a playable race if you want.
Sick.
Oh boy.
So
It's gonna be frog people.
do you want to stick with the Holy Land?
Yeah, we got to.
Okay.
We must.
All right. So we have. That's a cool combo, though. I like that. So let's go down here. So we're going to go do Moon, Holy Land. All right. Okay. All right. Back to the top of the order here. All right. Okay, so before we get into anything specific, TJ, you got fire. You're in charge of all fire in the world. All fire responds to you. You're in charge of the moon and the movement of the moon or multiple moons. So Elliott already said something about the moon. We can just probably incorporate both of those. And the last one would be Holy Land. Your god would actually have a foothold in the world. No other god has any real power in the material realm, but you will have an area with your kind of blessed people that you really have unquestionable power at. So if you think about like the size of what I'm thinking of, something like that would be like, you know, a small region or a very small nation, like a Montenegro style amount of space in which you would have enormous power. But
Amazing.
we can do that bigger, we can do that smaller. It's kind of really up to you. But those are the three things you got there. Let's start. Do you want to start with the fire stuff? Figuring out the fire stuff first?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Let's do
Let's do
that
it.
real quick. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So we know what's at the top of the world, right? It's the sky. You cannot really breach it. And there are stars and stuff beyond that that are protected from mortals. If we go down underground, we know that there is an underground that's like lush, beautiful fields. Below
okay.
that, what is below that? What is the structure of the world?
I imagine uh, it's like deep below, hot as shit, rivers of maybe like soul, fire, and blood.
Rivers of soul, fire, and blood.
Yeah, just one good mix
Describe
of
to me,
that.
Shoal. Get a quick description of what soul fire is.
Yeah, what color is Soulfire?
In my mind, it's like a whitish green color, a mix like harsh like red yellow lava. You know, it's like mixing in between it.
Soul fire is whitish green over
Yep.
lava.
Oh, I'm imagining soul fire is sort of like radiant green, I guess,
Okay,
like a light
whitish
pale
green
green.
fire. Cool. Okay. All right. What's the purpose of the rivers of blood and soul fire? Just like it all
I
washes
think
down there?
no, I think it all runs into like a furnace, like a massive some sort of furnace at the heart of the your world, the furnace of souls.
What is it cooking up these souls for?
I imagine uh, it spins all this stuff and makes like flames that can be used by people.
It's cooking up
I
these
don't know.
souls to create more
Yes,
flame.
like sentient flame things or flames that are used for magic, maybe flame magic flames. I don't
Interesting.
know.
I like that though.
I
We
don't
can
know.
we can do a lot with that there. So this furnace, I like the idea of this furnace at the center of the earth, right?
Okay.
Um, so it's cooking up these magic flames. What else can we do with that? I'm trying to think.
This furnace is like massive, right?
Yeah, it's got to be like the
Yes.
size, like it's you'd be walking on top of it, right? It'd be like the size, the whole center of the earth would be this big furnace.
Yeah, and I imagine the smoke comes out from my furnace and things come out into my like the domain on
Smoke and
the world that I come,
lava,
you know, like some volcano.
That's cool.
underground,
Like your holy land.
Yeah,
surface.
my holy land, you know, the furnace exhausts through and into and
Nice.
twists the landscape.
Probably like the only place you can get soul fire. Probably the only place like soul fire
Yes.
comes up. Yeah. Nice. That's pretty cool. All right. So we have that there. Shape of the world. So if that's at the center, is this a spherical planet? Is it a cross section? Is it like a diorama model? Everything's
I imagine
canon.
it's a I imagine it's a cross section since it connects, you know, to the real your world where your campaign will take place,
So
right?
it's almost like
So
it's like an ant farm kind of. You would be able to see it if it would.
sure.
Yeah, sort of a magical cross section. It's not spherical though, right?
No.
More of like a pre the world is round.
Yeah. A weird parallel world
I'll look
amongst
at
the
like some
world.
firmament stuff and write it up. Sort of like bottom firmament. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this moon/moons.
Okay.
How'd you create it?
Ooh.
What does it look like?
I think one of the moons is like real it's almost imperceptible in the sky. It's black, except there's like light cracks going through it that light up.
That's fucking cool.
And you can barely see it, probably, right?
Yeah, you see more of the cracks, so it looks like just splinters off in the sky that have sort of a round shape.
Okay. All right, and you said one of the moons. Are there multiple moons?
Let's have two. I need at
I
least
love
two.
2 moons. I was really going to be disappointed if we got,
One moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
No,
was.
the other
honestly.
one, the other moon is like green, like almost like emerald green, but it glows with like a yellow in this green.
Does the
So
fire
glowing green
domain
moon.
play into any of these at all?
I imagine when he made the cracked moon, he pulled, all sorts of earth from maybe even making his or this god's above the earth world when he like pulled things up from the world there and down below, hollowing with the furnace, just collecting all this material and stuff. He put it up there with a bit of his maybe godly essence, just to show how much power he had. Put it up there.
Godly essence.
It's imbued with a bit of his own godly or their own godly energy.
And what's the deal with the green one?
Ooh. The green one.
So you would have
Maybe.
two types of eclipses too.
Uh,
I guess would you have an eclipse if it's a fake moon? If it's a fake sun?
yeah, maybe
You
it
have
was
to
like
have
a
something.
fake sun. I think it was like a fake sun.
Yeah.
So it just glows a little bit, trying to emulate my best friend. Ellen DeGeneres.
Emulate Czar. All right, so now you have to create a demigod, a sort of demigod sidekick that either resides on or is tied to the moon. All right, so now we're going to go back up to the list. We're going to go to list 1 and list 2.
Okay.
And I want you to roll a d20 for what the domain of this demigod will be.
A 4.
All right, so we have the god of nature is going to be in the moon. And then roll me another d20.
Re-roll that one in 19.
19 on 2. All right, the god of travel, pilgrimage, and adventure. Okay, real quick, let me plug these in here. Okay. So the first one was... Sorry, what was the first one you rolled?
A god of nature.
Nature?
2 or 4.
Okay. So this demigod is the god of nature and travel. So let's go up to nature real quick.
Okay.
So for the demigod of nature, you're going to have to design what the Feywild or Feywild equivalent will look like. And this guy is going to have some guardian spirits as well, some versions of nature as guardian spirits. So let's talk about this demigod. Let's talk about the Feywild. How does the Feywild work? Is it called the Feywild? We're basing this kind of after the Feywild, but it can be any plane of existence you want that reflects nature.
Ooh, okay.
The
I
big
imagine
swamp.
it is very swamp-like. I imagine the trees are like blue, like glowing blue with purple and pink leaves. The sky is like swirling lava lamps and watercolor.
So it's a
paint
bisexual
mixed
sort
with
of
water.
planet. It's some sort of purple and pink and blue.
mhm.
In my plane of bisexuality.
Yeah, there's a lot of bogs,
Feywild.
swamps, long plains, Lots of skull mountains.
Skull
with,
Mountains. This reflect.
Yeah.
Why does this reflect nature?
Inevitable doom.
I think it's probably what the ideal nature scenario is for this demigod, maybe. I have a name for him already.
Okay.
This demigod.
What's his
Oh
name?
yeah, Thode.
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 I like Thode. Okay, what are the magical guardian spirits of nature that Thode commands? These will be like, if you think of like dryad level enemies, if power level kind of, you know.
Frogs. Frog abominations.
I'm gonna ask you what that Thode looks like, but I think I know.
We all know what Toad looks like.
Imagine the most hunched over, you know, creature, black cloth, but underneath is, you know, a very warded, bubbly skin.
Does he say ribbit?
He does not say ribbit,
Okay.
but for all intents and purposes, he's like
Frogman.
a hobbled frog man. Yeah.
Is he a humanoid? Does he look like a human, or does he look more like? What does his face look like?
It looks very frog-like.
His face is
Toad-like.
very frog-like. I'll leave that
What
for
shape?
interpretation.
What shape are his pupils?
They're circles, not the lines.
Okay.
The slit toad. Yeah.
All
He has a
right.
big staff too. Big staff.
All right. Okay. So he is also, he's the god of nature, but he's also the god of travel and travel, pilgrimage, and adventure. This god is in charge of the passage from life to death. So this is canon. When somebody dies, they see this guy. Where does he take them?
So scary. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, fuck.
Where do they take them to? Is there already
Should
like,
he take him to the furnace? Do we want to really do that?
if they're related, I guess it makes sense, right?
I mean, this guy works for you. He's under you, so you decide. He's not a full god. He's a demigod. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, he takes them through like So would people go through this like Feywild to get there, or this
Oh,
is just
yeah.
an extra job? Yeah.
No, that could be good. Takes them through the Feywild to get there. So that's cool, because if you're in the Feywild now, you might be seeing like people getting transported to, people dying. Really,
Yeah, that's cool.
if you see anyone following a frog man. All right. So takes them through the Feywild to get there. What does he do with their spirits? Because Joel is the god of death, and how death works to Joel's god is that life force gets recycled. So that if somebody dies, basically their life force gets recycled into a sprite if they were a good person, and that sprite will be helpful. It'll go to a forest and be helpful there. So the main cause of burying people is to have like helpful good spirits versus hostile mean spirits.
I imagine there's like a swamp with a little river, almost like the river Styx, and if you're good, I guess your life force gets swallowed into the swamp, and somehow you are birthed up as this whatever sprite creature. Otherwise, you keep flowing down the river and end up in
Okay.
the
So
molten.
the soul fire is only for dickheads.
Yeah.
Only dickheads get smoked.
Soul
in the
fired.
furnace. Turned into soul fire. So we can have we can say soul fire will be like the substance that contains the malice of men. You know?
Sure.
That sounds pretty lore-y.
It does.
All right. So the god of travel, adventure, and pilgrimages also is going to determine when a dark age of isolation will be. This will be when all countries will stop communicating with the outside world. Trade networks will be destroyed. Diplomacy fails. So go ahead and roll me a 1d4 to see when the dark age of isolation will be.
2.
2? Okay, so that'll be the third campaign. Is a dark age of isolation. Okay. So that is Thode. We have Thode all hammered out now. Thode is going to be a sort of Charon frogman figure. How is he tied to the moon?
How is he tied to the moon?
I mean, he's a frog man, and one of the moons is green, so that's where my mind went immediately.
Yeah. Maybe the moon that glows. What is like the name of your world where this all takes place?
We don't have one yet.
Okay. Well, whatever Branson world is, maybe that green moon, while it shines the moonlight for that world, when it's during the day and people don't see it, I imagine maybe it's lighting up the Feywild, lighting up in Bode's world.
When the moon, during the day, the green moon retreats to the Feywild to light the way to the dead, or whatever. All right, that's good. All right, pretty good. We have that set up then. All right, the Holy Land. Your god is probably going to be the god that interacts with mortals the most because of this. You have a small region that reflects your will. You can tell me it looks like fucking anything. Everything is canon.
Yeah. Okay. I've immediately thought of the name the Ash Plains.
The Ash Plains.
Yes.
Describe to me what the Ash Plains look like.
Okay. If I can, like old creatures die here, so there's lots of like massive bones around.
Old creatures come here to die.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
And hopefully, like like dinosaur era creatures that exist in your world, like massive behemoths.
Whatever. Right now, I think the biggest creature is a gigantic whale that travels, so we could have even big ass whale corpses there somehow.
Sure. I just imagine like the rib cages just like sort of around there. Coming out of the hand like fingers stretching towards the sky. I imagine it's pretty smoky and like a lot of stuff is black, so I imagine the earth there is sort of like the what's that area in Australia that's like really red rot?
Northern whatever. Yeah, I know that. Northern Central Australia.
Yeah, like in the outback. I can't remember.
No, where it's like super like mineral-y soil, so it's like super red.
Yeah, I imagine just super red. And because of that furnace churning, there's like a certain smoke and haze to the world, so it's sort of dark around there. Besides like maybe fissures. There's probably a lot of fissures with like gases and maybe even like little strips of light lit up from just, I don't know.
Yeah, you can kind of see. So
twisting rock and
how hostile
fire.
is it?
I'm imagining pretty hostile. I don't want it to be a safe place.
I imagine you don't want visitors then. If you
No. In my mind, it's sort of an evil place. I don't know if my god's exactly a good guy. But...
We haven't really had anybody evil. So, well, we've had a lot of people who are very fast and loose with the rules, but nobody who's like, I'm evil, you know?
Yeah, I imagine evil for some reason.
Does this have, like, okay, so you in this area, this world that is your world, you created a race to help you run it. What is that race? We don't have to. We're not talking stats. We're not talking traits. Just a physical description, and then we're gonna later use that to make a playable race.
I mean, is it shitty to just be like the orcs come from this area or
No,
something?
not at all.
And you're just to make it easy for you?
No, nobody else has done. The orcs come from. What are some of the traits of the orcs here? Are the orcs all loyal to your guy?
Yes. Or they like worship them in the moon, maybe.
The worship fire god in the moon here.
Maybe orcs from here that are like super devout. They get like they can have like black, you can see like black veins underneath their skin or something, sort of mimicking the cracks and the black earth sort of motif going on with the god.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. All right. So are we having like standard physiology orcs? Are we doing like Lord of the Rings orcs? Are we doing like Warcraft big burly orcs? How
Ooh.
cocky are these guys? How big are their muscles?
I like the Warcraft style orcs.
Sort of Warcraft style burly orcs.
Yeah, big and burly.
Skin color?
Strong.
I mean,
I'm
green.
imagining
Are we
like
going green, gray, red?
I think it's like army green, like a pale olive green.
like it's like your moon, and then like the cool special works could be like ash white or something because they're in the ash plains too.
Ooh, yeah, let's do that. Some are white, some are.
That could be
green.
like a blessing for your god, or considered a blessing if an orc is born like albino, even.
Yes, let's put that in there. That's canon.
Yeah. All right. Okay, start as kind of olive green. Culture-wise, I mean, are we doing like, intelligence level of these orcs? Are we doing they're a little dumber, they're a little smarter?
I imagine they've like harnessed, using fire stuff, and they're pretty proficient in building things. So I think they're pretty, and maybe they're intelligent, but they don't speak intelligently.
Stop poking me.
They have a low emotional IQ.
Yeah.
Anything like leadership, culture, kings, tribes, religious leader? Who's leading these guys?
Oh shit. I don't know.
Not even like a name, just like a general kind of government structure, Did these guys leave this area, or do they only want to stay in here?
I don't know. I imagine they'd leave, but I wonder what the rest of the world would think when they see them, Would they like them or hate them?
I'll say this. So if we go at all the playable races so far, right? Oki made two. Oki made the Carp, which are basically the Gungans, like Jar Jar. Big underwater cities, very nice, but kind of annoying. And then there's the Eska, which are basically like anglerfish, and they're like, fuck you, we're hostile, we're evil. And then there's the Guppies, which everyone kind of hates. And then there's the, I feel like I'm missing one. But basically all the creatures that have been created, there hasn't been any elves, there's been any gnomes, halflings. Right now the orcs are probably would not probably be treated worse than any of the other races, is what I'm saying. There's not like the Carp really want to barter with humans to like raise their human children underwater, and that creeps everybody out. So
Guppies seem like they're universally reviled.
Yeah. The orcs like would have to be really fucking brutal to be universally reviled, I think.
I forgot what the beginning of this question was when I was thinking about that. What was the
government structure of
government structure?
Yeah, of these orcs. If they leave, if they stay in the area.
I imagine they leave sometimes, but maybe they like hawk their weird, soul-fired items or magic items.
So
Maybe
if they are
they deal
traders, they're
in,
usually like high level traders.
yeah, I imagine they deal with more of the seedy people, giving some evil weapons and stuff, evil enchanted things, like in Warcraft.
All right. Okay, so we got the Ash Plains. We have this kind of race of orcs that you created to serve you. Um, do you want me to ask you some of the questions about the stuff of how you interact with mortals, or you want to talk about your name and what you look like?
Uh, Either you pick.
All right, let's do your name and what you look like, and then we'll talk about how you interact with mortals. Mortals. All right, so you're in charge of the moon, you're in charge of fire, and you're in charge of this holy land that you have on the material plane. Um, do you want to start with appearance, or do you know your name?
I think for name, I was thinking something like Cartis or Caratus.
Cartus or Caritus?
Hmm.
Something like that. All right. Got all the other stuff there. What about your appearance? Um, you're an enigma god, so you don't have to explain yourself. You can look like whatever. You are the best friend of the god of light, however, which may turn out to be complicated.
Well, I imagine maybe because the god of light, Elliott's god, makes a lot of things, that's why the orcs in this world sort of harness the flame and like try to make things.
Yeah,
There's certain overlap there
yeah,
with
a
making stuff.
proficiency in just any kind of
Just
technological stuff.
yeah, they're just not as probably beautiful as Elliott's gods,
Mhm.
people's things that they make through worship and things.
Oh yeah, there are
Uh,
regular humans. Regular humans are default, so I just assumed from the beginning that there has to be humans. Because how else do you?
I imagine like maybe like a cloak with armor that is cracked that looks like it's like heating up from the inside with molten flame, and then sort of the arms and things might be smoke and like floating embers. So maybe no, you don't see a face all the time. You just see like floating smoke and like ash and ember coming up from a head.
Fucking sick.
All right. So, do you ever have a face, or is it always this the ash and ember and smoke?
Uh, I think if he has a face, it's like a scary jack-o'-lantern, if anything. Like glowing yellow and yellow, uh, you know, jagged teeth things that come out when whatever situation would occur, but amongst like
Yeah, if
smoke
somebody
and ember.
blew all the smoke back, if Ein Sof showed up and blew all the smoke away, it'd just be a jack o' lantern guy.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
a perfectly round yellow head on the inside.
Are you like a warlike guy? Are you killing people?
I like to think he is, or he doesn't mind it.
What weapon? You got to have a cool weapon made out of fire.
Yeah, Soulfire.
Oh yeah, the green
Yeah,
and white fire.
I imagine a massive, uh, like an axe.
It's really killing you to decide that, TJ. I saw the agony on your
It
face.
is. It is.
Massive axe.
Yeah.
Massive axe made out of soul fire. All right, pretty cool shit.
The Doom Blade.
The Doom Blade. Do you want to go with Cartis or Cartis?
Let's go with Cartis.
Go with Cartis. All right. All right. Okay, so we have all of our stats on Cartis. Cartis is the fire god in charge of the moon and the Holy Land. The world is a sort of firmament style cross section where you're really not able to go below and you're really not able to go above. You're kind of trapped in this material realm.
This sucks.
Cool looking guy. I mean, that's kind of I like it. It turned out it's a very anti multiverse setup, which I fucking love. The multiverse shit is like killing all All shit. I'm so sick of multiverse stuff. So I'm really happy it's like self-contained.
I also I think his what the people that lead like the Ash planes should be like priests though.
Priests?
Priests of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do led by orc priests.
Yeah.
I
The
think
the high flame keepers.
Hey, I don't care if they're high as long as they do their job.
that's amen, brother.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I think that Zara and Cartis probably used to date, and now they're still friends.
So I like that. We should do
Yes.
Czar and Cartis used to date, but now they are just friends. They're just friends. So it's a Jerry Seinfeld Elaine situation. We got a Seinfeld and Elaine sort of dynamic.
Yeah,
Could we have been fiery lovers though?
yeah. It just got too hot for Zara.
Fiery
Yeah.
lovers. How does Czar treat the fact that like her ex-boyfriend's kind of like the most evil person so far?
I mean, he's doing a good job with the orcs, so it's kind
So,
of
yeah.
It's sort of hot.
yeah, it's kind of cool.
She thinks it's kind of hot that he's evil.
I gotta check in, make sure his furnace is running from time to time.
She checks the furnace. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I like that a lot. All right. Cartis.
Branson,
Yeah, go
Branson,
ahead.
can there be like a path from the like main volcano that gets you down to the, if you're brave enough to get down to the hell world underneath?
Yes. Here to the furnace deep underground. The coolest
There's
thing about
probably
this
some quest in there.
is that
You have
like
to,
there's
you
so
have to
many
go,
things that could just be a whole campaign that when it gets to this point where I actually get to make the campaigns, it's gonna be so fucking easy.
yeah, you have to go through the volcano, through the pastoral underdark, into the
Yes.
fucking hell land.
Yeah. I've like an area called like the Infinite Descent through the caves or something.
I imagine there'd be some fucked up shit down there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cartis. What is
Yes.
the correct way for mortals to worship you? A church, a cult, an order, or something else?
I think it's cult stuff.
With the orcs primarily, do you let non-orcs in?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. So in this cult, do they keep it a secret that they worship you, or is it open?
I was thinking when you were talking about with Elliot about something like there's like blessings that his God gave out. I was imagining certain people that are touched, they don't know it, but like they have like a tattoo that grows the more devout they are or something. And so I imagine it's like a black tattoo that grows.
I do also like the idea of a god just like, because like it's like if you're like a farmer and you have a bunch of ducks and you just grab it. All right, stamp that one. That's really your god's just stamping. No, that one's mine. He's got the black mark. How do you interact with mortals? Do you like mortals? Do you hate mortals?
Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well, I
what
imagine
do you
it's a
like about
love
them?
hate. I imagine he loves how like moldable they are and how easy they are to talk to or try to deceive and try to entice with power and flame and
You're like emotionally manipulating mortals too.
yeah. See, he finds them maybe like playthings, and that's why he likes them. They're more like toys than anything. He sees the world as sort of like a sandbox or something, a little toy sandbox for him.
I like that. All right. What is the name and profession of your favorite mortal? Give a brief description.
Oh man.
Would it be an orc or would it be a different guy?
I think it's an orc. Uh, there an orc named Loktar in Warcraft or anything like that?
I
Let me
think
look up.
Loktar is how you say hello in Orcish. You say Loktar Ogar. So it's
Oh
like if
my
an orc's
goodness.
name was hello.
Yes, I love that man.
Loktar means hello.
Yeah.
All right, what is hello or Loktar? Why is he your favorite? What does he do? Would he
I
like
imagine he's
guys that are just like warriors, or would he like guys that just burn stuff down, or crazy priests, or like what kind of personality would he look for?
I imagine he would be like cunning, deceitful, smart, and like using his like orcish looks and judgment of people to further ahead, like using biases that are put onto him. Like Loktar's smart. Loktar's using people and like deceiving people in
Is he?
some. I
Is it?
imagine
What are we gonna have him be like a spy, like a thief, like what are you kind of like a diplomat, what do you think?
a diplomat would be cool. Like maybe making his way up, trying to be a player.
Is he white or green?
White.
All right. When you are in the mortal realm, which you're probably in the mortal realm most of more often than other gods, because part of your domain is in the mortal realm. What stuff do
Hmm.
you do? How do you kill time in the mortal realm?
Ooh, ooh. I imagine it would be like traveling. You'd see him at a like little campsite on the roads, tiny inns and taverns, sort of sifting amongst people, almost seeming like a ranger alike.
Is he standoffish and aloof?
No. I imagine he might be sort of personable.
Does he tell people he's a god?
No, never.
But do you keep your same form when you do this, or do you disguise
I
yourself?
think I think he's disguised as like a human, like an older, like 55-year-old human.
Does your god, Cartis, does he experience fear or hope?
Maybe not much fear, but maybe hope, but it's not the best sort of hope. But he is hopeful.
He doesn't really have anybody's best interest in mind, right?
No.
What does he want out of the world?
I don't I don't know if he wants anything. It's more he likes to play with things, throw wrenches into things and see what happens, see what the people do with it. That's why he's always seeing the world as more of a play thing than
If
this.
he's like pretending to be a guy, does he just like does he like pickpocket stuff from one people, put it in a different person's pocket? Is he buying people drinks? He shouldn't be buying drinks.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just
And
a
imagine like egging people on, like
yeah.
somehow maybe he's using his god powers to he like influence people's decision making to see like a bad situation, almost like a prank, but like that could have deadly results or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's all the stuff we have on Cartis there. There's only one thing left to roll. Is there anything else we want to hammer out between you guys? I know we have that Czar and Cartis used to date, and now you guys are friends. Do we want to flesh that out a little bit? Or are you guys happy with that?
I kind of like leaving it there.
Yeah, just leaving
Hmm.
it kind of there. Not really ever saying any of the specific information about
Uh,
it.
no, we don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
If that's in the past.
But I imagine Cartis does use some of the things he learned, and that's why his orcs build things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like the
I
last bit of thing that he holds on to from that relationship.
Yeah, Zara also likes to come in and check on the orcs every once in a while, make sure they're going upwards
Or
in terms of civilization.
I mean,
orking around.
are these orcs? Are they going out and fighting people? Are they warlike at all, or are they just really like if you get? I imagine if you go into their territory, they'll do whatever they want to you. But are they leaving the territory to attack other outside of it, or be warlike at all? Are they a threat in the world? I guess is what I'm asking.
Maybe not at one point, but at one point they are in like some age of yours,
Later
you
on,
know?
they could be a threat.
Yeah, I imagine they're not, but then maybe they're boating, waiting their time, and then Cartis just as another act of seeing what happens, like decides to
Well,
start a war or have his orcs go out and do something.
part of the thing is that the demigod you created, Thode, has the Dark Age of Isolation. During his Dark Age of Isolation, I'm going to have that be caused by the orcs. But other than that, they'll probably not be much of a big force.
Perfect.
All right, we got God 8, Cartis, God of Fire, the Moon, and the Holy Land. Enigma. All right, we got almost everything done except you have one connection. So this is going to be the last thing we're going to roll today. So TJ, this is going to be your connection to the last god, which is going to be next week with Hessa. Hessa is going to make the last god. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys when I have this set up here is in the actual god builder. Whoops. There are only 8 of the domains. So Hessa is going to be the 9th god. So she's going to roll on a unique elemental domain, but then she's going to use the remaining other domains. So everything's going to be normal except they're going to get a unique elemental domain. So we're going to have you roll to see what your relationship to Hessa's god is going to be for next week, TJ. So please
What do I
roll me a D8. Actually, roll me a D4. Actually, I've done best friend twice, so best friend's out. Rival is out. Whoop, shit. Rival is out. Enemy is out. I've already done mentor and student too. So roll me a D4 and then re-roll it if you get a 4.
Reroll. A 2.
A 2? All right. You are going to be the father of Hessa's person.
Oh my goodness.
So you are a father.
You're gonna be absentee dad.
Well,
oh yeah.
it's up to her. It's going to be up to Hessa to decide, I guess, who the mom's going to be. So you might, Czar might be a mother if we go with it. You might be a stepmother situation here. But
amazing.
Yeah, so Cartis will be the father of Hessa's god. All right. So we have that all locked in then. I think that's about it for today on all the lore club stuff. So recapping it now, we got 8 of the gods set. Their names are Murtu, Zoth, Coldwell, Einsof, Chimera, Wad, Zar, and Cartis. So the elements are all stuffed. We have some remaining domains that are really interesting. I want to go over those real quick. So the big one that we have is we still have the God of War. There is still no God of War. We have the God of Nature's in there now. Chaos is still open. Prophecy, that one's already got. Strength is still open. I got to update these. Any other big ones? There is no God of Love yet. No God of the Hearth. No God of the Seasons. No God of Protection. Thieves.
How many more of these are you going to do?
1. And everything that's not selected becomes its own demigod.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, there's no God of Beauty, no God of Love. A lot of the family ones haven't been touched. So basically the way I decided is that like it's going to be less important of a domain compared to other domains if a demigod runs it instead of a god runs it. So we could have very little love in the world. We could have lots of stuff like that set up. So I'm pretty excited. We got one left next week, but thank you, TJ and Elliott, for sitting through with all this stuff. Pretty happy with your guys'
course.
gods.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Can we do some plugs?
Oh, please. I was about to prompt you for your plugs.
We have plugs.
Yeah, I got one. I got a couple leads up here.
Yeah, okay.
We have a podcast. Maybe,
Yes, we do.
I know some people know. So
Wererat
Studios.
Shout out to Wererat. Do you guys still have the Church of Luck I ran for you guys up?
Yeah, of course.
It's on Patreon.
I ran a D&D. Check out Wererat. I ran a campaign for them called the Church of Luck, which was a bunch of gnomes and halflings prayed to the god of luck, and it was just a casino. They did a casino heist.
They're fun.
It was great.
That was a good one.
I'm an artist. You can check my art shit out in Chicago.
You have... Where did it...
Cookies and art.
Fucking Chicago. You just say, I'm an artist in Chicago. How are they supposed to fucking find your art, TJ?
At Cookies and Art.
Yeah, Cookies
and
Art.
At Cookies and Art. I tagged him in the Twitter thing. I tagged him. He doesn't want to say it. I don't know why. He's an artist in Chicago. Just figure it out. Look, if you're interested in art, take a trip to Chicago. You'll see him. You'll see him around, walking around. Say, hey,
there's a lot of
TJ.
murals up.
I do have a piece that just opened in a cool gallery.
It's a gallery opening.
What's the name of the gallery it's at, TJ? This is how you promote stuff, TJ.
Yeah, come visit at VSG Gallery on Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago.
I'm sure that's enough for you guys to Google it. Shout out to Chicago. Elliot, you got anything to plug?
No. I guess
visit Elliott at work.
Yeah, come visit me at work. Please don't come visit me at work if I don't know you. Wererat Studios podcast. I'm the current DM for it. We're running Wild Beyond the Witchlight right now. Last season we played through Rime of the Frost Maiden. I was not running that. I was a character. I was Ricky Steele.
Ricky Steele is the name of your character?
Yeah, Ricky. Ricky Fluttersteel Flareon II. He's a half-elf bard.
What does his armor look like? Just tell me what his armor look like.
Oh, he had like a big white...
Well, wait. Take a guess, Branson. Take a guess.
Okay, he's half-elf, right?
Yeah.
What's his subclass?
He's Bard, College of Swords.
College of Swords. Okay. Color scheme, I'm going to go with the way that... I imagine gray and black. Is that the color scheme?
No.
Green and brown?
No, it's white and blue.
My bad. Okay, I wouldn't have got that one. That's a cool color scheme. Leather armor.
A little bit of leather. Had a
straps.
A white owl bear cloak for a cloak.
Did they have any visible knives attached to their legs?
They had a rapier with a serpentine kind of design.
Mm-hmm.
A big old feathered out like David Bowie 80s style hair.
I fucking love the Elliott school of fucking character design so much.
It was good. He had a skiing addiction too.
Yeah, skiing addiction. Worked at his uncle's bar. Well, he had two dad uncles because his father died, but his artificer and bard dad uncles took care of him. He worked at the bar as a dancer.
Working as a dancer at my uncle's bar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a character like had sex with more men than women in the game.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that one.
That's really...
It's like when we needed a place to stay, I would just seduce the fucking bar owners and just stay with them.
It's a bar run by two uncles. I guess our nephew could dance. I guess he could dance. I don't know.
We weren't blood related, it's fine.
Oh man. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I had a ton of fun. Really happy with these two gods. Zara, the goddess of light, order, and healing, and Cartis, the god of fire, the moon, and the Holy Land. We're going to cut off here for now. We're going to go ahead and hop off. But check out next week on Sunday at 2. We're going to have Dan Beckner on. He's going to be creating the first empire. So the first kingdom that the party is going to run into, the big evil kingdom, the Babylon of this world, will be designed by him next week. And then we're going to go ahead and get the last god with Hessa. So it's going to be your child, Cartis. It's going to be the first actual blood relation of any of the gods or goddesses, by the way.
I can't wait.
Which is going to be your child. So we'll be there next week. Thursday morning at 9 a.m. I'm streaming, and Friday at 7 we're me and my wife are going to be streaming with Facade. So I've never played that game, but we're going to be playing that. We're doing the wife stream. I haven't done a lot of Borat jokes. It seems a little old hat now. I got to wait like 3 years, and I'll start doing Borat jokes again, and I think they'll start hitting.
Yeah, do Bruno jokes until then.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm hopping off. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your Sunday.